got together a cable television program back in 1997. I wrote a book. I made sure I organized, at that time I had websites, I organized protests. As a matter of fact, the first protest ever, and it's also unfortunately been the last, against children's services across the United States of America. It was in Washington, D.C. in 1998. And I became hated, not by people like you, but judges, lawyers, everybody for the system. I mean, if you ask anybody about Dyandria, oh, she's bad. You know, they don't, crazy. She's paranoid, delusional. She thinks that the system's corrupt, and she goes on television saying crazy things. Anyway, of course, I have all the documented evidence. Exposure is invaluable. I joined the organization VOW as soon as I got out of jail. And I've been I have to get my life back together, so it's a new thing for me. I'm like a baby out of water. And we started right away doing protests and, passing out flyers. And I went to Suffolk County Community College and I took a course in domestic violence so I could better understand it, the roots, etc. But I learned everything when I went to that course. I got 6 credits, by the way, for it. I already learned everything from the organization VOW, so I could have taught the course. Let's see, what, I equate the evil to cockroaches. When you shine, no, this is very serious stuff here, no laughter. When you shine the light on them, they all scatter. And that's why I say, and I'm sure my colleagues will agree with me, but you have no idea how important media is. I didn't commit a crime. I went to jail for 3 years because I was exposing them and they were angry. That means I did a good job. And that means that can you imagine, well, I know Eileen King and Monica Getz and, and my favorite lawyer in the whole world who is in here. Oh, God, I love her. There she is standing over there. Stand up. Oh, don't look around. Yeah. Robin Yeaman. And Mr. Holden sitting right next to her, my 2 favorite lawyers in the world. I know they all agree with me, because if each and every individual here did what I'm doing, I mean, you don't have to go to write a book because that gets expensive, but you could go on television, and there's ways of doing it for virtually no cost at all.
Dyandria, would you be willing to talk to some people?
Absolutely.
Everyone on here will be willing to answer your questions, and we're going to have a breakout session after this. I do know that Robin, we didn't have Robin up here, but she's got a CD, 2 CDs, yes, that talk about, she's activist extraordinaire. She will teach you how to find each other. She will teach you how to organize. She will teach you what to do. Go talk to her. There's also, I know, people from the Northeast, from New England, are looking for other people from New England. So if you want to meet with the New England people, might want to meet out by the table briefly after this session just to touch on each other. I know that they are looking, Cecilia, they want to be active. They're looking for other moms. But just stay together, okay? Stay together and we'll get there. Thank you.
Couple of things, just a couple of things. Something she said triggered what you need to hear, all of you. Don't ever go to court alone. Even if you're pro se, bring a witness, bring the most powerful person you can find in your community. She went to jail only when she was too considerate. She said, oh, you're so busy, I didn't want to call you about my court case. We had gone each and every court case. They never dared put her in jail. The one time she didn't tell us that she was going, boom, 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 they threw her in jail.
That's true.
So never go to court alone. If you want, this lawyer's lawyer sitting in the back there, she made a tape that is fabulous, Trial in a Box. and she has many other tapes. We're selling it. She's selling it. It is worth every single penny. Consider what you're spending on lawyers. And here you have how to organize. It is the most amazing thing. So you have the resources within the Disbanded Women's Conference of doing what you need to do to locally start whatever you need to start to make this a national movement, and that's the goal.
Thank you. Thank you to this wonderful panel.
One last thing I just want to mention. Please, every time you want to report somebody or you're passing out flyers, name the names. It's always important. Every corrupt judge, every corrupt law guardian, don't be afraid. Name their names.
All right. Speaking of jail, by the way, Dyandria was actually one of the original recipients of the Woman of Valor Award, and her plaque during our session, it somehow flew the coop. I don't know where it was, got separated, you know. So I want to award this, not posthumously, just a little bit delayed, the Woman of Valor Award to Dyandria Darrell.
There are organizations who are out there and advocates who are supporting each other. I'm more action-oriented, and I can't settle down, and it's the only way I think that I can even find healing. Even though you can't be healed until you're on the other side of the fence, it's a way of keeping me going, is doing something. And mothers are never prepared for their children to disclose sexual abuse. And when my children disclosed, I didn't want to believe it, but I didn't know what to do either. And I was in the midst of a divorce, and the children had only that 1 week begun to see their father alone when we had separated, and that's when they came home, and one of them was in serious pain, and she was quite inflamed in her vaginal area. And so when you start going through the battles, it's number one, you don't know what to do. I turned to my attorney, and I was given very, very bad advice. I turned to the courts through my attorney, and I found that the more my children disclosed, the more the court didn't want to believe that my children had been abused. They believed their father instead, and they took the children away from me totally. It's been 4 years and 3 months since I've even seen my children.
There is always the dilemma as to whether this is child abuse is an actual event as being reported by the mother. So on the one hand, if the mother allows it, they'll say, well, she is a neglectful mother and take the child away because you neglected to protect. And on the other hand, all too often, the mother says, especially after a divorce, a separation or a divorce, where the mother is now able to see things that she didn't realize that were going on, like child sexual abuse, on behalf of the perpetrated by the ex-husband. Now she's able to see these symptoms.
Well, clearly my daughter has been abused, and it's all documented, and she wrote a lot of letters to the judge by herself and tell abuse, and the judge, actually that made the judge very upset, and the judge thought that my daughter directly challenged him. So he not only gave the sole custody to my ex-husband, also put me back to supervised visitation 4 hours every other, once a month. And after that, I just collapsed, and I just couldn't hold together, even though I know I have all the truth, and but just too overwhelmed.
My sister has been extremely heartbroken over this matter. The fact that she's been taken away from her family. She's always been there to see the conflict between my parents. She's always been there to see the abuse that my father has really subjected his family to. So she's always been there first-handedly seeing what's going on. It's tragic, I'd say, that she is forced to go live with the same person she suffered at the hands of.
I told my daughter that